Welcome to Tell Me More for Run Radio. I'm Trina Wilcox. My guest today, Ashley Branham with Lively Esthetics. Welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Welcome. I'm glad to have you here. We are taught, or at least for me, I was always taught as a young girl to wash my face, take care of my skin, don't go to bed with makeup on. And even though we do our best with what we are taught, it can still be so hard for our skin to come out the way we think it should look in the way that makes us feel good. But you can help with that. So tell me how you do that.
So I work with my clients. It's not me. I'm not the magic sauce. It's it's a team effort between myself and my clients to come up with solutions that are customized to their individual skincare needs, their goals, their lifestyle. Some people have time for a more involved skincare routine. Most of us don't. I don't.
No.
I know that for sure. So my goal is always to work with you and customize at home skincare rituals and in office treatments that will help to get you to where you want to be. For me too, skincare is more of a marathon than a sprint. To get long lasting quality results, it's going to take time and patience. I know a lot of people are advertising these treatments that kind of work really fast, get you the results really fast, but those results also fade just as fast. So for me, it's more long-term benefits to the skin versus quick, I want to look nice for this one event situation.
So even though I feel like as a woman in today's world where we've got social media and everything, like we have these opportunities to have our cameras in our face and pictures everywhere. It can be very intimidating. And even though you do the things, aging happens
Yep.
and individual skin things happen. So kind of give me that it's okay talk, because I feel like we beat ourselves up when just natural things happen. Like
Yeah.
no matter how well I've taken care of my skin, I'm still going to see a fine line, and that's got to be okay, right?
It it has to be okay. Like we can run from aging. You can never outrun it. I like to say that I'm more about graceful aging or age positivity than I am anti-aging. Everyone is going to get older, and honestly, like in the beauty and I'm sorry, I have animals, so if you can hear
I
that.
do too. That's a-okay.
Okay. In the beauty industry, I like to say that they create problems that don't exist so that they can sell you solutions that you don't need.
Yes.
200 years ago, women, I mean, they did care. You know, there are recipes for skincare products and things, um, but it wasn't so much like looking young forever. Now we're, women are injecting themselves with all kinds of who knows what just to try to erase a couple of lines here and there, when there are things that you can do that, again, take a little bit more time to start seeing those results, but overall support the skin and the muscular structure underneath to hold on to a more youthful complexion, if we can say that. It's more about aging in a positive and empowering way than it is trying to stop the process altogether. Honestly, every year that I get older, I feel like is a blessing. Like that's one more year that I survived.
True. Very
So
true. But we do all still want to look our best. So, what
yeah.
are some of those things that you can recommend that we be doing at, in our teens, 20s, 30s that will set us up for better results?
Yeah. So prevention always is easier than reversal. So the first thing that I recommend to my young teenage and adolescent clients is start with a gentle cleanser and a moisturizer and wear sunscreen every day. I don't care if it's the coldest, dreariest day in the middle of January, wear sunscreen because there's still UV rays coming in through those clouds. If there's snow on the ground, it's reflecting and bouncing back up onto you and it's magnified. Then, we have this wonderful advent of modern technology, but that radiates ultraviolet radiation back onto our skin as well. So wearing sunscreen every single day, reapplying when you have the time, every 2 to 3 hours.
Oh, wow.
80 minutes is the best, but I mean, I like to be more realistic.
Yeah.
Do what you can. And there are all kinds of sunscreen products. There's powders that you can brush on, like makeup throughout the day, that help to kind of mattify the skin, but also give you that sun protection as well. Then the next step I recommend, once you get a little older, using an antioxidant in your skincare. So some type of either vitamin C serum, green tea extract is really good. CBD is one of my personal favorite antioxidants. I like to call it the superior antioxidant, just because we do have a whole system in our bodies, the endocannabinoid system, that works with cannabis and its compounds. Sorry, the word escaped me for a second. I love CBD, but any antioxidant that's appropriate for your skin type. It just helps to kind of slow down that free radical damage. And then facial massaging. Everyone should be massaging their face at least for 5 minutes, a couple times a week at home. I'm a huge proponent of using oils on the skin. I know a couple years ago that would have been blasphemy, especially if you already have oily skin, but using a light, nourishing oil on the skin. I have the oiliest skin of anybody I've seen a lot of faces, and I think I'm still up in like the top 5 oiliest skins I've ever come across. And I use a facial oil every single night at bedtime.
Wow.
Without fail. And I just massage it in. And massaging helps to stimulate that circulation. It brings oxygen to the skin. It breaks up the fascia, which fascia is the connective tissue that sits between the skin and muscle. And that can cause what's called adhesions, or trigger points, where it holds on to things like stagnant blood, stagnant lymph, things like that. So we get that moving, it drains, it depuffs, but it also allows our skin to work at its optimal capacity to rejuvenate, build that collagen, and glow, basically.
Okay. So as we're doing this massaging, just fingertips, rollers?
Anything that you know, I always say you don't need to go out and buy an expensive gua sha stone or jade roller. You can use your fingertips. You can use the back of a spoon. Is really good for lymphatic drainage. Depending on your goal, you want to adjust your pressure. So if you're trying to get that drainage, you want to be very light. Your lymphatic system lies right beneath the skin. You don't want to press into the skin. You want it to be very light pressure. If you're wanting to stimulate, you want to use a little bit more pressure, upward motions, and don't be afraid to kind of look silly. You know, you want to move that skin. I think we're taught to be a little bit more delicate than we need to be with our skin. And just make sure that you're not tugging and pulling.
Right.
A little bit of movement, but you want it to snap back.
Okay.
While you're doing it.
So I've got a roller, and I was really going at it, and it was feeling good. And then as I was doing this, I was reading, go in one direction, never go back and forth. Is that true, or is it do what you can?
It's a do what you can, do what feels good.
Okay.
But again, depending on your goal, if you're really wanting to get that lymphatic drainage, you only want to move in one direction, and it's usually out and down.
Okay.
If you're wanting to get that stimulation, you can kind of back and forth. If it feels good, it's going to benefit your skin.
Okay. I like that. I like that answer. What is one of the number one things people bring to you, like that they are complaining about, they just can't get right and they need you for?
I see a lot of acne and post-inflammatory acne scarring, a lot of what I would call the anti-aging concerns, pigmentation from sun damage and things like that. It's kind of an even field. There's not just one concern that everybody has. Every single person's different. But those are kind of the 3 main consistent concerns that I get.
What are some of your favorite things to do for your clients?
I love to dermaplane. It's my favorite method of exfoliation. It's where you use a razor blade to scrape away the top layers of dead skin. It gets the hair too, so your makeup looks really good afterwards. Massage as we were just talking about, I am a massage fiend. I massage every single person, no matter what they're coming in for. If they're getting a hydrodermabrasion, or I have a whole facial that is just massage. It's called the Crystal Fusion facial, and it's an hour and 15 minutes of nothing but massage and love.
Let's go back to the razor on the face. Okay. I have been reading, that's been in all of the headlines, you know, do it, don't do it. And of course, as a woman, I'm terrified to take that razor to my face. Now I know the blade. And then also at home, is it best to have supervision? Yeah.
Never at home.
Tell me all the things.
So I use a surgical grade scalpel.
Okay.
It's a number 10 blade. If you Google it, you can see it's a straight edge. Sometimes you'll see the hooked blades, and those are fine, but they are a little bit more risky. You have to be very steady with your hand. I do not recommend dermaplaning at home. You're not going to be able to get access to the proper blades. You're going to be using the little Tinkles razors, and those aren't actually, they can't get the skin because they have those guards on them. You can't get the blade to sit flat against the skin. So all it's doing is just getting the hair.
Okay.
And the guards on the blades actually cause irritation. They can tear the skin.
Okay.
So I do not recommend doing dermaplaning at home. Find a professional, whether it's me or whether it's somebody else that you trust that is licensed and properly trained to do the procedure, because you can cut people. It does happen.
Yeah.
The trick is knowing how to avoid that. And that comes with proper training and experience. Not every person, not every skin type is a candidate for dermaplaning. And I'm the type of esthetician that if you come to me seeking a certain procedure and I see that your skin can't handle it, I will tell you it's not appropriate for you. And I will, even if I lose money, I will recommend a service that's more appropriate to your skin type, because my first priority is doing right by you and your skin. The money is an added bonus for me, I guess.
Right.
To pay my bills, but I'm not gonna tear people's faces up just to make money.
Or because it's the fad thing that everybody's doing and they think they have to have it. It may not be ideal for their skin type. What are the skin types that can benefit from that versus the ones that can't?
Most skin types can have dermaplane, they can handle it. People that can't get it are what I would call extremely sensitive or sensitized skin. So somebody with an active rosacea flare-up, I'm not going to recommend dermaplaning for you. Active acne breakouts, depending on the severity of the situation, we might be able to dermaplane some areas and not others, or just skip it altogether until we can get those breakouts to heal up. People who are maybe a little bit more advanced in the aging process, or maybe they have a lot of sun damage that causes a lot of texture in the skin, I'm not going to recommend dermaplaning for them. But for the most part, most people can do it. One of the things that most people can do, because I can customize the depth of exfoliation. And so if you are a little bit more on the sensitive side, I don't have to go as deep.
Okay. And again, what are a few of the benefits? Like, are fine lines one of the things, or is that a myth?
So it's not a myth. Dermaplaning by itself is not going to erase your fine lines. Exfoliation in general is a really great way to stimulate collagen being formed in the deeper layers of the dermis, which is where collagen lives. Dermaplaning is an excellent method of exfoliation. Primarily, I use it as a tool to allow your skincare products to penetrate deeper. So if you are somebody who's trying to fight fine lines, you're going to want to be pushing as much hydration and antioxidant into the skin. So removing that first few layers of dead skin is going to help that to penetrate deeper, because it's not having to fight all that dry dead skin to get through.
Okay, nice. All right. We already talked about, you said massaging is something we can be doing at home. And then you just mentioned getting our skincare into our pores down in there. Skincare, if you've ever gone and looked at the wall of Plenty, it's exhausting. It's exhausting and expensive. What are things that we don't need to be wasting our money on? What can we be doing that's great for our skin and affordable and not
So,
worth
yeah. So I always tell people I don't know what's in the drugstore. Maybe
Okay.
I should keep up with that, but honestly, I wouldn't recommend it even if I did know what was
Okay.
there. I do have I work with several skincare lines so that I can cover any concern anybody might have. I have organic vegan lines and I have more active, what you would call not quite pharmaceutical grade because I'm not a medical doctor, but they're more that medical-ish end of the spectrum. I just recommend everyone start out with a good skin supporting cleanser. I'm not a big fan of like the heavily exfoliating cleansers like packed with salicylic acids or benzoyl peroxides. Those are good on occasion if your skin type requires it, but for the most part, I like a good creamy cleanser. It's going to be nourishing to the skin. It's going to get that makeup and dirt, but it's not going to strip your skin of the oils that it needs to stay healthy. And then a good either a hyaluronic acid or antioxidant serum, which a lot of serums now they come kind of cocktailed, so they'll have your hydrating ingredients and your antioxidants in one. And then a moisturizer that's appropriate for your skin type, and then SPF. So a very simple, streamlined approach. And then you can add things as you get kind of in the groove. You can add a toner if you feel like it's necessary. It's not always necessary. It's a good, I call it a bonus step. You can add different masks and things, but none of that is what I would call essential.
Okay. We've talked a lot about the face. Do you do a lot with skincare for the body, or do you just focus mostly above the neck?
I do focus décolleté and up. So we always say that your face stops at your nipples when you're doing your skincare routine at home. Bring it all the way down. I have been looking into treatments and products to use on the body because that is an area that is very neglected. I do have a body scrub. It's a body glow treatment that I offer. I currently right now I don't do a ton with the body. I do have a couple treatments. One is I call it a vajacial. It's an ingrown hair treatment for the pubic mound. A lot of people have issues with that. But right now, unfortunately, I'm not doing too much with the body.
Okay. And are you accepting new clients?
I am, yes.
Okay. And where can they go to find out more about your services?
So I'm on Instagram and Facebook. I have a website. It's livelyspringfield.com. Everything is on that website, but I share a lot of information to my social media as well. You can reach out to me, but either by direct messaging me. I'm more likely to check Instagram messages, or you can text. I have my phone number on my website and in my Instagram bio. That's a really great way to reach out to me. But most of all of my information is available either on my website or on my social media.
What made you want to take on skincare?
It's kind of a long story. I didn't even know what an esthetician was. I had just had a baby. I just gotten laid off from a call center job, and I was working in a dusty stockroom at a discount store, and I was miserable. And my husband in the car one day was like, well, why don't you love makeup, why don't you become a makeup artist? And I laughed at him. I said, that's stupid. That's not a responsible career for a mom. But he was persistent and he was very encouraging. And so I looked into the qualifications for doing makeup professionally, which in Missouri, it's terrifying. There are none. All you need is an eyeshadow palette and a brush, and you can go and do whatever. So then I thought, having a license would set me apart from the competition. It'll let people know that I'm trained in like sanitation and safety. And when I went to look into like cosmetology programs, one of the schools, I met with their admissions officer, and she actually told me that the cosmetology program probably wouldn't be for me, that she would recommend the aesthetics program to me because it was a shorter program. They did more with the makeup and the skin because I wasn't into the hair. I didn't want to do nails. I didn't even know that there was any other kind of license. So when she offered that up to me, I was like, sold, enroll me right now.
Neat.
And then I just fell in love with skincare. I have funnily enough, I've not done any professional makeup artistry. I've stuck with skincare because that's just what I fell in love with, and what I felt my soul was like, this is for me. This is what I'm meant to do.
You said you work with certain skincare lines. Have you ever thought of developing your own personal brand?
Yes, actually,
Uh-huh.
in October, I created and formulated a facial oil from
Okay.
scratch. I am currently in the process of becoming a certified herbalist. So not quite there yet, but I do have a lot of herbal knowledge, and my tagline is I'm the skin witch, so I'm kind of witchy. So I looked at ingredients that were both beneficial practically for the skin, but ingredients that also had spiritual associations with like self-love and confidence. And I incorporated them all together into a facial oil that I sell in a self-care ritual kit. And I am not ashamed to say that it is probably the best oil I have ever found. And I've tried a lot of facial oils.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting that even. I was surprised at how good first go I got it. And everyone loves it. Other estheticians that I know, they're like, this is the best I've ever tried. So yes, I would love to expand Hershey. Not right now. I would love to expand into a broader range of products, but right now the oil is kind of the capacity that I can handle at this point.
Yeah. And is that available online?
It is not right now.
Okay.
I just switched, well, several months ago now, I switched website hosting platforms, and I just haven't gotten around to setting up my store yet. But you can purchase it in office. I have
Okay.
9 available right now.
Excellent. Well, when you have more, you come back and show off those products. I'm excited to talk about this anytime you want to come back and share more, because we're always looking for ways to better ourselves and come together and share that information.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Ashley with Lively Aesthetics.
Thank you so much, Trina. Thank you for having me, and I would love
Yes.
to come back on.
Great. Will do. See you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.